Imagine you're a self-made co-founder of a $31 billion company and you started your journey at the age of 15, flipping buns at a Burger King. But now you've raised billions. Anything is possible for you. Then Sam Altman drops ChatGPT in November 2022. You see it and you lose your mind. So you fly all the way to another country to meet Sam Altman and become the first fintech company in the world to launch a ChatGPT plugin. Everyone around you is like applauding and going crazy because you are a visionary. So your confidence keeps on rising. By 2023, you stop hiring altogether. You go on national television and tell everyone that AI can already do all of the jobs that we as humans do. But by 2024, things begin to slip. You open your company's dashboard and you see that your customers are now hating on you. Your service ratings are free falling like anything. So, what do? Because Klarna's CEO was in a very similar situation and he had to rehire people after he realized that he played the game wrong. Hundreds of business leaders who earlier rushed to replace their entire human workflow with AI are now regretting it. But why? AI though is super smart, no? And customers always love fast and cheap solutions. So all AI driven founders are essentially extremely confused and most CEOs are also clueless because they are on a very fundamental level desperately failing to understand what's happening. I'll tell you three recurring patterns and I hope you have a piece of pen and paper so that you can note this down. On number three, customers are feeling cheated when you dump an AI on their heads to solve all their issues. In fact, people also feel cheated if they see something completely AI generated. When you use AI for the final line, for the final draft, for the finish line, and not the baseline. On number two, people, and I include both children, parents, professionals, founders, extremely capable people. I'm not going to take any names, but if you're on Twitter, you know what's exactly happening with the entire delusional thing. But people are outsourcing their thinking to LLMs and officially becoming dumber. And on number one, people still do not understand what AI can and cannot do realistically. On top of this, a new research by the University of Pennsylvania mentioned how these layoffs can actually kill the overall consumptions of multiple products in the economy in general. Dude, if nobody has a job, how do you expect these people to pay for all these AI tools? So, AI companies are first of all losing money, giving these agentic systems to businesses. Businesses are firing people and then losing customers because nobody likes pure AI outputs. The people who got fired have no budget to buy new AI tools. So, what is the point of all of this? Till now, your white collar jobs, like people in finance and tech, they had high salaries and like stable jobs. And these are the people with good credit scores, by the way, who are considered your low risk borrowers. And these are the people who take your housing loans and EMIs and your iPhones and your MacBooks and whatever. Now, if all CEOs become delusional in the next 1 year and they start firing people instead of educating them, how will these people pay their EMIs and loans? So, do you realize the ripple effect of not spreading enough awareness? The ideal scenario from day one was to educate your team on how AI works in the first place. You sit down, audit all workflows, test experiments on AI doing the first mile work, the deterministic processes, and then human beings taking liability for the last mile problems. I had discussed, I'll put the link in the description. I've put a post on this that when execution becomes cheap, what do businesses sell? Businesses will only sell liability, responsibility, judgment, taste, proprietary data. That is going to be the moat. You had to give expensive reasoning AI to just a handful of people so that you can drive AI adoption slowly and gradually across the entire company. You build workflows and systems that enable humans and AI to work together and not in isolation. You educate people on how to think properly. You bet on things that do not change with time. But no, everybody wants things quickly. Look at this hand right here. Okay? This hand alone, I'm not even talking about this entire body. This hand alone is a result of millions of years of evolution and documentation in my DNA. We've not even talked about the brain. And as Andre Karpathy says, we're building ghosts and not animals. We are building through imitation and not evolution. And evolution has always told us to be patient. But these businesses are just not getting over the Red Queen effect. By the way, the Red Queen effect is based on this anecdote from Alice in Wonderland's sequel, where two characters, Alice and the Red Queen, are constantly running, and they're like chasing each other, not chasing each other, but basically Alice is getting chased by the Red Queen, and they're just remaining in the same place relative to each other because both are running, right? So to out chase the Red Queen, you have to run twice as fast you're running right now to get ahead. And this increased pressure to adapt faster just to survive is making people take stupid decisions. It's only going to end in a terrible burnout. So, what's the call to action? First of all, educate before you automate. Pick your top 5 highest output employees across departments. Give each and every one of them access to a single reasoning capable LLM aggregator like a Perplexity or a Copilot. Have each person pick one bottleneck in their daily workflow. It has to be deterministic. Use AI to solve just that and run a 30-minute internal session where your team can showcase what AI can and cannot do. You only learn from experience. We've already taught the SHAPE framework in a LinkedIn article. I'll put the link in the description. I hope that you're taking care of your mind and health, by the way. And if you resonate with what I just said, let me know in the comment section. I'm done with all the fancy edits, so I thought that I'll just come on camera and say something honestly. See you next time.